sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. You got me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar. Okay, good evening, good morning to good afternoon to those in Americas. Good evening, the UKs. Good evening, anywhere in Africa. This is Let's Talk Music. You're welcome to Let's Talk Music. Offer Music powers this program, and I'm glad to be your host. I'm sure you're going to be with me till the end of the program, and I hope the network doesn't fail us today again. Yesterday we had a chat. We talked about music. We did a little bit recording session, and then more of a mixing section. I explained some of the EQs and how I use them. I'm not saying I'm the perfect one, but I'm just giving you what I do. If you like it, maybe you learn it, or you call me. I could send you a preset of what I do or how I do it, and then you can try it on your vocals. If it works, fine, you can keep it. Any day I change stuff, and I change how I do stuff. So don't worry about that. It won't be a copycat, because how I do, I will change it tomorrow. Yes, you're welcome once again. Street code. Yeah, okay, street code. That's your name. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm expecting more. You can share. You can invite friends too, so that they also join and then partake this tuition for free. This is a tuition for free. It's an online tuition for free. We're going to be discussing mixing, how we use the EQs, how we use the compressors, how we use the DSS, the effect side, that is the auto tune, and then the reverbs and delays. How I use them. It's always going to be how I use them. If it's a new engineer who's going to be the guest for this program another time, definitely it's going to be how he uses it. Nobody comes here and then competes. We are not competing with anybody. It's just that we are trying to sell out or give out what we know for free, so that the rest can also learn. There are so many upcoming engineers who are also trying their best in the homes. Okay, they're trying their best in the homes, and it's still failing them. But I'm glad that I would be permitted to share mine. So these unfortunate ones can also have a treat out of that. I didn't get a chance to have somebody to teach me or to give me
the ways I can explore what I need to do with the EQs and then the compressors, except some books that I borrowed from the internet, and then a couple of videos that I watched on the YouTube, and then some other channels or some other sites that has grown me to this stage. I am blessed to have you, and I'm blessed that you have me too. Okay, there's a new song we just did yesterday after the network off. We did it's still with Seed of My Boy. It's a high life tune. There's a typical high life tune, the Lumba style, the Boga high life that we're working on today, and it's called Sugar Daddy. I'm sure you are already familiar with titles like such, but that's not Sugar Daddy from Kitty, but Sugar Daddy from Sidov. Yes, welcome Sidov. Sidov is in the house. Welcome Sidov. Sidov is in the house. Yes.
Number one.
Yes.
Number one.
Is in the house.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, we're working on that. Today, I'm doing another mixing section. We are almost done with the recording section. It's left for him to do the ad libs, and unfortunately, the network was so bad we couldn't join. We couldn't come on live earlier, or we couldn't come live earlier. But we are scheduled to be having this each and every day in the week. So most definitely we'll come up with a. Somebody asked when I did a post about the program. Somebody asked the time. Thank you for joining BMO. Thank you for joining my brother. Sam, and I'm using Glow now. I hope Glow doesn't fail us too. Even though Glow isn't so stable over where I am. Good evening, good evening. Yeah, good evening, BMO. You're welcome. So as I was saying, I'm hoping that it doesn't fail us today. Let's go to the music, yeah.
Hello guys, how are you doing?
Hey, Nemo.
Hello guys, how are you doing?
Thank you for joining, yeah.
Okay, bro.
As of now, I'm working on the BVs. What I normally call it the car.
I think the network is pretty bad.
So yes, sorry. As I told you, is the network. I'm so sorry. I want to do this. I am so passionate about it. I want to do this, but the network is not helping.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, let me go back. Bimo, are we back? Are we live? Okay, we are live. Thank you. So as I was saying, after I do my low cut, I normally with choruses, because there are a lot of frequencies within the mix. Whenever you drop a beat, there are a lot of frequencies. Some coming from the guitars, some coming from the.
I think the network is really bad. It's breaking off. You have this crack. Yeah, you're online, but it seems the network is pretty
Am
bad.
I online? Sorry. Oh, sorry. Um,
Yeah, you're still live. Yeah, you're on live.
Hello, am I still back? Okay. Thank you. As you can see, this is my my highs. How I create the hiss sound. I try and then do that curve, so at least I can get to hear this. This is what I'm trying to say. You see, you
Yeah.
can hear. This is what I want to hear. This is what I'm talking about. I try as much as possible that you can hear that sound through the mix, because at the end of the day, if it becomes so muddy, dark in the mix, you can hear. Let me put that off, and then you would understand what I'm saying. Okay, so if it's like this, you see, it's too low. So because of that, when the whole beat goes, you see, it's so hard that you can hear. So I try to boost it a little bit. So I normally, yeah. So like this. Now let's see.
Yeah.
So you see, now at least with that you can hear. With that you
Okay.
can hear the backing vocals, so that the backers
Okay.
don't also become lost in the music, because the music isn't for just the lead singer. So what I do next is
Group
I
channel.
come back to the whole vocal. Then I try to make sure that any lost frequencies or any frequency that is bothering the vocal from shining better, I try to bring it out. And then yes, so I try to bring it out like this. This is something I heard when I was doing the mix. So I was so particular to try and do something about it. So I did a little bit of a cut.
Okay.
It wasn't so much. It was just I think about a few dBs below. And
Yeah.
previously it was like this. Let me show you. You see? So it was bordering the whole mix. So I tried and then did a cut on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, yeah, I think now it's better. So
Sugar
yeah,
me, treat me like a sugar daddy. Sugar me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy.
okay. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
this is better to me for my ears. I don't know how you're hearing it over there, but to me, it's better. So after that, yeah, let me show you one thing too that I normally don't do, but I think for this music I tried to go over my rules a little bit, because I found some of the vibratos was good, but it needed a
Okay.
little bit touch too, so it doesn't sound
Okay.
too raw in my ears. So I added the auto tune. But it's still at the default settings. I placed it on the default settings, only putting the keys in place, and then I left it at the point where it was. You see, so I'm taking it off. You
Okay.
see, it's so not different. Yeah, it's not so different. It's not so different. It didn't sound like rubber or anything, but it's still sounding sweet. I think. I don't know how you hear, but that's how I think it sounds sweet. So now let's go back to how I took the vocals and then how I did the blendings. You know, when it comes to the BVs, you must be careful of how you do your blends, because there are so many voices working at the same time trying to reach the same goal. So with all these lots of voices, that's about 8 voices. Each two
Okay.
is doing the same thing. So this is how I did. What I did was, let me bring the mixer here. So normally what I do is, oh, come on. Yeah. What I normally do is I do a little bit of additions and then subtractions. I make sure that what I cut off too much, which is extremely left,
Okay.
and then I do the same extremely right. Then when I come to the second part of it, because it's the same harmonies, the same vocal harmonies, I try as much as possible not to cut too much. So I do a reduction of all, a gain of 45%. Sometimes it's 30%. It depends on how the vocal is sounding. And then when I am doing the blending, right now I haven't done any leveling because I'm not properly done with the mix. So normally when I'm finished with the blending, with a mix, what I do is I try to reduce not too much of the same vocals, because this is the same. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah. You see, this was the same.
Treat me like a sugar daddy. Treat me like a sugar daddy. Treat me like a
yeah. So because these ones are so the same, just the same as this.
Sugar daddy. Treat me like a sugar daddy.
I make sure they don't bother the mix. So I try as much as possible to reduce some of them to the same level, so others will stand out.
Okay. Okay.
Then the other ones become like a back end to the other ones. Okay. So let me go on. Today, I think yesterday, Seedoff did well, because even though
I think you are still breaking up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you from that perspective about the recording. I can't hear you. So if
hello, are we back? Hello, are we back? Yes, okay. So as I was saying, now me add it. Add it. Be more. Let's take it more. Okay, declined. Okay, alright. Okay. Okay, so sorry. You see, about just today, just to be able to do this, so we don't have a network break again in MTN. But it seems Ghana network is all the same. Sorry, by the way. I yes, as I was saying, taking. Welcome DDT. Charlie, bro, I'm praying for you picking up that award, because I was all fun next year, Miss Mefa. Anyway, not many be more coach. Anyway, yes, welcome. We thank you for joining. So as I was saying, as I was saying, you know over there, as I was saying, I took these BVs. Let me bring it back. Yes. So this is how I normally do. I don't take so many BVs. It depends. I don't take so much. But when it comes to like our contemporaries, I don't take so much BVs. I just take a little bit of BVs. It's just about I think 2 different types of BVs. I take one tone. And then I take one tone in four ways. Okay, I take one tone 4 times. Then I take another one 4 times.
Sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. Sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy.
You see, that's what I do. I don't know how you do yours, but that's how I do mine. And then I make sure they don't overload, or they don't deny the other one from shining. Okay, they shouldn't overload, and then at the same time they shouldn't deny each other from shining, because you need to hear all the parts, but not that you should hear all the parts in the same level. I try as much as possible to, if it's let me show you, if it's I'm taking this maybe 13% or 13.50%, this one can be maybe 11% point or something, or the other one can also stand somewhere, let's say about 6% or 4%. I try as much as possible not to allow them from blocking each other. Oh, come on. From blocking each other. I can't be controlling this at the same time. Yeah, from blocking each other. So I do that just to get the beauty out of it. You know, sound has to be beautiful. Even though some people think it's only sound having to be sweet. No, I think sound has to be beautiful, because I see sound to be color. The way you mix is color. It's like you're creating a picture. So when you lose the picture, what happens is you lose that sweetness that you're talking about. You know, before you get that sweetness that you're talking about, it has to be the color. So when you lose that sweetness, I mean the touch, then you've lost that beauty. Or when you lose the color, then you have lost that sweetness that you're talking about. So I try as much as possible that I don't lose that sweetness and overall lose the color. Okay. So let me allow you have a taste of the music. Okay. Have a taste of the music, and then we continue talking. I'll come to the drum side, okay, and the instrumentations, how I mix them. Okay, yes. Yeah, let me answer your question before I continue playing the song. I think we go here. Yeah. Okay, so we go here. Yeah, Bimo, why take same vocals 2 times? Yeah. With backing vocals, you know, backing vocals normally I see because it doesn't really have a dominant space in music or in tracks when you're recording or when you're mixing or when you bring it out. You know, backing vocals isn't like lead vocals where it should shine too much or should have a presence too much. It is the lead vocals that are normally we determine or we try as much as possible to gain stage so it can lead. That's why it's called the lead vocal. But when it comes to backing vocals, you need it to stand in the mix, not on the mix, you see. So because of that, normally if you take it once, it loses that chance. Let me take the rest off and then you would listen to it and then you can understand what I mean. Let me take the rest off. Yes. So check this out. You see, the balancing space is not felt. You can feel it raw, because it's just one vocal that has been. No, let me balance it back. Okay. So 0. Yeah. You see? You see, it doesn't really have a balance. It's just like you standing in a large container, okay? Because it's just you don't really have that impact in the container. But if it was like about 10 of you, then it really have a balance. Let's take it with this one, and then you see what I'm talking about. Let me add this, okay? So you see?
Treat me like a sugar daddy.
And in the whole mix.
Sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. Did me, sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy. Did me,
okay.
Sugar me, treat me like a sugar daddy.
So at least this is 2, but you see? So supposing I add this one. See, that's chorus effect really need on the backing vocal. Yes. But the effects that you put on backing vocals are normally just a dry of a reverb and then a dry of a delay. Because you don't need to weten it too much. If I say if you don't need to weten it too much, let me show you. Let me show you an example. Let's go to this and then I show you an example. Oh, come on. Yeah, let me bring it here. So you see, this is the backing vocal. What I do is, because it's just a backing vocal, is a BV. That needs no bigger room in the mix. So what I do is I just give it. This is my technique, okay? I just give it a reduced version because my lead vocal, depending on the music I'm doing or the kind of genre I'm doing, okay? Normally is on 9, -9, okay? -9. That's my reverb for the lead. But when it comes to a backing vocal, I go as much as 25, -25. Sometimes even -30 or 35. It depends on how the music sounds, okay? Or what space I need that the backers to take in the presence of the music. You see?
sugar me, treat me like a sugar.
So it doesn't make too much noise. Let me solo it.
Did me, sugar me,
Do you hear the sign?
did me, sugar me,
You see? Not so much.
did me.
Because it also needs that room, but it shouldn't have an increase or a larger room, just as the lead vocal. Is the lead vocal normally needs that room. Even if you're mixing live, what you do is you add a little bit of a percentage gain on the reverb, just to give it that spark, so that the sound doesn't sound so much dull and then dark. You know, sound shouldn't be so dark. Once it becomes so dark, it becomes unpleasant for the ears, unedible for the ear to have it. Okay, and you know the ear is created such a way that the eardrum works so much that when sound is dark or too much highs too, it becomes painful to the eardrum. You see, that's how God created the eardrum. I think God was a mixing engineer in the beginning. Yeah, he understood that no, sound could be unpleasant if it becomes too shiny and then too darker. So he created the eardrum such a way that it could accept them. So whenever you are hearing vocals so dark, it becomes unedible for the ears, like this. Let me try and then do something here. Yeah.
Did me, sugar me.
You see?
Treat me like a sugar daddy.
It's so dark.
Did me,
But once you add this,
treat me like a sugar daddy. Did me, sugar me.
you see, it becomes that sweet for the ears. Sweet for the ears. And what I'm trying to achieve is, I'm trying to achieve the best for the ears. So I try as much as possible, even in my mix. Let me tell you, sometimes I invite people who don't really know music just to come listen to my mix and then tell me what's wrong before I continue to the end. Do you understand? Sometimes it's better you do it that way. If you are so comfortable too much, you might mix the right thing. Sometimes that's what I do. I'm not telling you that your method is wrong, but my method. I'm just talking about my method. When I invite you, or when I invite you on this show, then you can talk about your method. But for me, this is my method. I try as much as possible to be shiny, but not too shiny. And I try as much as possible not to be dark and not too dark, okay? Or not too unpleasant for the ears. So I do that. And then let me go back for you to finish the listening. Then we continue discussing.
Did me, sugar me. Treat me like a sugar daddy. Did me, sugar me. Treat me like a sugar daddy. Did me, sugar me. Treat me like a sugar daddy. Did me, sugar me. Treat me like a sugar daddy. Wokwana miro, mini obia kaho kwa. Mire, wokwana, yeah wokwana miro, mini obia kaho. Frema, wokwana, I'm on slow motion. Mire.
Yeah, Bimo. Yes, I don't do double lead. I don't do double lead. I only do a harmonized of the actual lead vocal. If you can see, let me show you that. I don't do a double lead. You see? It's just a harmonized version of this one. See? And that's the harmony. You see? I try not to make the song stand so boring. Okay, I try as much as possible not to make the sound too boring. So yeah, excuse me, there's a noise, so I have to take it out. Yeah, there's a noise, so I'm taking out the noise. If you can see, I'm trying to take out the noise. Yeah, so as I was saying, the lead vocal, I don't double them. For me, I don't double them. I don't think it's necessary. if you can do your compressions well to gain stage, then I don't think it's necessary that you double vocal lead vocals. As I only in some few cases I might double a lead vocal, but what I do is when I double a lead vocal, the second lead vocal, I do a whisper to support the beginning vocal or the main lead vocal. I do a whisper. What I mean by calling a whisper is I create an ambience of a reflection with this. I know you guys know this plugin, this effect. You know, it's called a doubler. Yes, I know you know it. Okay, so I create an ambience, which sometimes it could be, yeah, the 4-band or the 3-band or the 2. Okay, just to give it that shine of the vocal, like this. Let me show you, like this. You see, but I don't normally do it. It's not every time that I do that. I create that just to give it that different feel. Because, you know, they are all fighting in the same space. Remember that all the vocals that you're taking, or all the vocals in the song are fighting for the same space. Be very careful you don't think something is not important too much that you don't give it a taste. Every element of music is so important, from drums to the keys, which is the keyboards, the guitars, and all that. I'm telling you, every single thing is important, and you don't leave them go. You try as much as possible, give them a space to be there. It's only unedible if they are all clashing at the same time, trying to fight too much. No, you give them a room, a space, so that they don't fight too much. So that's what I normally do. I try as much as possible that my lead vocals are taken in such a way that the backing vocal that I could take, or the double vocal that you're talking about, that I could take, would have a different feel, a different filter feel, or effect modulation feel. So it doesn't sound just like the upper vocal. Because after that, I will come to the level and reduce it as much as it becomes so faint but still edible, okay? Or still audible, sorry. Still audible. So I do that. I do that often, but it's not every music or every genre that I do that. It depends on the class of genre that I'm dealing with. So if I answered your question well, sometimes you can tell me if I didn't answer your question. If you're not satisfied with my answer, you can tell me so I can find a different way of explaining it to you so you can get it. Because my purpose for this program, or for this thing that we are doing here, is to help people find new ways of doing their mix, or find new ways of approaching the music production and stuff. Okay, so it's not like we are here to joke. We are not all here to joke. The Thompson joined. The Thompson is an award nominator or nomination or something. I don't know how you call those stuff. Yes, or award nominee. Yes, nominee. Yes, I think I remember. Award nominee. The Thompson is an award nominee. So I won't joke with this boy. Charlie, this man is big, you know. Okay, the Thompson. So I have a question. The Thompson, why do you often post food? Charlie, I think it did too much, Anna. Anyway, that's just by the way, commercial break. Yes, let me go back to music. Yes, we're talking music. Yes, so as I was saying, I try as much as possible to do this so other people will have music favorites. Sorry, pardon me for my words. Other music favorites, or I mean music enthusiasts, would also have all other passionate engineers who are not, or engineers want to be, as I call them, engineers want to be, who haven't gotten the chance to be part of the music game, to also learn or to also do music production, would also have the chance. The schools and the fees are so exorbitant that not every single human being who loves music can have the chance to be in that school. It's so exorbitant. Ask the people like the Thompson. He schooled. I didn't school, so I can't tell much. But he schooled. The Thompson schooled, and I know he paid a exorbitant fee. Yes, it's so high. You got to pay tuition fee for keyboard lessons. If you got to pay tuition fees for recording, mixing, mastering. Charlie, everything is fee, and it's so big that sometimes not every person will be privileged to have that chance. So I try as much as possible that I help in my own ways. Okay, I help in my own ways. This is my way. I'm not here to challenge anybody. I'm just trying to help some other few who are less privileged. They are not privileged to having a teacher or having a tutor or having the money to pay that exorbitant fee that you did pay. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this. So I am not going to go too much in depth by giving you everything, but I will, because it's going to be a series. It's going to continue from time to time. Tomorrow we're going to have another section. So we're going to have another session. So I'm going to try to make my possible best that each day at least I make you abreast with something from the recording studios. Okay. Sometime I will take you through the mixer too, then let you know how I use my mixer here. Because every little thing over here, let me show you. Every little thing over here, I tweak. I do something. Okay. Every little thing with my compressors, everything. I do something with my sound cards. This is my sound cards. Behringer, yeah, the 4-channel sound card. I try as much as possible that every single thing that I have here, I learn to tweak and to make that thing work to improve my music production. Okay, so let's continue listening to the music. Then we continue. Any questions you can ask, please. I'm here. Any questions you can ask. If it's possible that I can answer you, I will tell you. If I can't answer you, I will let you know and then find ways to answer you later or some other time. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, so that's it. There's something that I haven't really talked about. Let me put the phone down and then do that. Yeah, there's something that I normally do to my instrumentation. Okay, I don't. It's something that I do to my instruments, mostly the drums. The drums. Okay, I create a bass for the drum. I create a bass for the drum, and then I make sure that the drum bass is fed this way. Let me show you. Okay, so you see, the only thing I put on my bass, the bass of the drums or my kit is this. Let me solo it so you can see. Okay, the only thing I put on my drum bass is, let me show you. Oh, come on, my phone. Yeah, thank you. The only thing I put on my drum bass is this, the compressor. As I told you yesterday, those who joined yesterday, as I told you yesterday, I am a favorite of the hybrid plugins. I do a lot of use of the hybrid plugins. I do a lot. I use them a lot. If you need any further explanation on the hybrid plugins, you can let me know, and I would do well to let you also know what to do. I do well with them a lot. I've studied all the plugins, and I found out that the hybrid gives me what I want. I always want to see or feel that analog, or have the analog feel in my music production. I always want to have that analog feel. So I try as much as possible not to go far away from the board. Because I told you, those who joined yesterday, I told you that I migrated from the mixing engineer board before I came into the studio board. So, I don't still want to lose that old feel. I try as much as possible that if I'm playing and you hear some sound that hisses or stuff that comes, it's not actually coming out of the EQ, but it's coming out of my machine, okay? Because that's how I did the recording, and that's how I want it. That's how I want it. I try as much as possible not to go far away from my mixing board, as I told you. So I put this compressor on it, and then I make sure that I automate the mix side. I automate, or I create the mix side, not to encourage the threshold of the compressor to hit too much of my sound. Either that it loses that transient. Is it the transient that should come out of every instrument? Is important, that needs to come. Okay, so if you compress too much, then it will lose that transient. So I try as much as possible that I don't lose it. And if you can see here, I put in a reverb on the whole drum set. Okay, the whole drum kit, everything involved. We have the hi-hats in it. And I've actually put in a reverb on it. Somebody will say, is this guy crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I always want to hear that live feeling in my music. I told you that I migrated from the live, then I came to the studios. So I don't want to lose that tradition. Oh, between by yeah, hello. Yeah, yes, you're back. So as I was saying, I put the reverb there. Look at the reverb I use. Another hybrid product. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, it's the network. Please forgive me. It's not me. It's the network. So yes, as I was saying, I put a reverb on my drum. All the drum bars. I put a reverb on the drum bars. Welcome back. It's the network, Ghana network. Forgive us, please. Yeah. So this is the reverb I normally put on my drum. This is how I set my reverb on my drum. Oh, Ghana network. Sorry, I apologize. My apologies, okay? Yes, as I said earlier, I put a reverb on my drum bars. I didn't say I put it on individual drums, but I put it on I create a bars and then I put, this is my drum bars. Let me show you. You see? This is my drum bars, which I put a compressor. And then after that, I put a reverb. I send it to a reverb, which I've created a reverb called the kit reverb. That's what I do. I create that ambience for the reverb and for the drums, okay? And that's how they feel. This is the test. So if you want to hear, this is how they hear. They come out, okay? I'll take the reverb off. I'm going to take the reverb off. Yeah, you're welcome back. Sorry. Thank you for waiting, okay? Yeah, so as I was saying, this is the reverb I use, the H reverb. And I like the way the H reverb sound, okay? Sorry, you're welcome back again. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how my reverb settings sound. They sound like this. That's the settings I did on the reverb for the drum kit, okay? So this is the whole kit. And I'm taking the reverb off for you to listen how I mixed the kit. So when I put the reverb on, listen to it. Isn't that sweet? Ah. Isn't that sweet? Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. I'm enjoying that. And that's the live section of it, okay? It's creating a room for it. Not too much ambience, because when it ends, listen. You see? It ends just at the tip end. It is not, I didn't create the reverb to tail off for a long time. So it doesn't really make too much noise in the mix, okay? It won't make any noise in the mix, because exactly when the drum goes off, the reverb goes off. I don't create a long tail for it. For the reverb. I don't create a long tail for the reverb. So that it doesn't create any noise at the end of the day. As I told you, we are mixing to make sure that the song becomes audible enough and edible if you can eat it. for your ears, okay? It should become audible for your ears. So that's what I do. So if you don't know, reverbs can be put on drums too. Even with a kick drum. Because this is a kick drum, okay? And I have the reverb on it. This is a kick drum. You see? And on my kick drum, this is what normally I use to mix my kick drum, okay? I'm sure my fellow mixing engineers out there, you know this from the Oxford bundle. If you want it, you can tell me. I will send it to you, okay? I'll let you have it. It's very good for drums. It's very good for drums. It's very good for vocals. But these days, I don't use it for vocals anymore. I use it for only my drums. Only my drums. and not all my drums. I normally use it for just my snare drums and then my kick drum, but mostly for the kick drum. Mostly on the snare drum, I particularly love to have the SSL bundle, but today I use the Oxford, okay, the dynamics of the Oxford bundle. That's what I use, okay. Yes, so back to why I put reverbs on my drums. As I said earlier, to give it that room, okay, to give it that room, so it doesn't become too dry in the mix. So it doesn't become too dry in the mix. Sorry, I take you black. It's because I don't have any hanger for or a tripod for my phone. Okay, I'm using my phone. I don't have any tripod for it, so I will take you blind when I put it down. Okay. All right. Thank you for accepting my apology. Okay. Anyway, yes, this is my drum. This is my drums. I've linked them together. This is my drums. I can push them all together. You see. This is my drums, and I make sure that my drum kits, they don't compete. You see. It's like I'm traveling. You see, on the mountain, in the valley, on the mountain, that it comes back to the valley, on the mountain, valley, on the mountain, climbing up, and then it descends, and then climb up and descend again. Okay, so you see, I create a spectrum. That's a spectrum that can avoid imbalance. Okay, a spectrum that can avoid imbalance. When I say a spectrum, I mean, you see that thing that they normally use. If you go to music players, you see that it doesn't have just a single point for each variance that comes. Okay, they all have their velocity. So that's what I do. I've created that space for them, so each one of them wouldn't clash the other. They can just sit in the mix, and then you can hear everything at the end of the day. So yeah. So yeah, that's it. And then come back to my keys. With my keys, yeah. Normally on my bars, okay, on my bass. Yes, my bass, my bars, my bass. That's how I do my EQ. Normally, that's depending on the genre, okay. That's how I do my EQ. I only low cut a little bit. I only high cut a little bit, and then create this. Let me show you what it means. Oh, Kim. Let me solo that. Sorry. Yes. Let me solo that. Okay. So, watch. Oh. Hold up, I'm coming. The mixer is blocking a lot of things that I can't even see where. Okay. Yeah. Coming. Sorry, excuse me. think I've taken something off. This is the base I'm using from the Nexus basic sign. That's what I'm using on this work today. That's what I'm using, and let me see. Oh, come on. Why? Okay, let me skip this. I'll find the problem and fix it later. Okay. So as I was saying, that's what I do on my bass. I try to I wanted you to understand why I did that. I wanted you to understand, but it looks like the machine is not giving us the chance. It looks like the machine is not giving us the chance. Okay, I understand. Okay. All right. Okay, so I understand. Yes, I think I fixed. I found it. Yeah. So, yeah. Hello. Yeah. So, if you can hear. Yeah. Sorry. I think with time and then with the network, the session, I would have to end the session because of the network. We were thinking about this. That's why we couldn't post the time earlier, because we're thinking about this. We're trying. Okay, so yes, as I was saying, we'll have to go off because the network is not favoring. It's not favoring us at all. Because the actual plan was to do a 2-hour straight live video session. That within the 2 hours we can allow some of you guys or you guys to ask questions. Then we can try and then digest them. And as we talk about the music and then how we do our mix over here at Orphan Studios, okay? And the network is not favoring us at all. Last night, which is yesterday, it was MTN, and then MTN wasn't favoring us. We had to purchase Glow. We had to purchase Glow today, so just to be able to do this and let it favor us, because we were told Glow would be better, but now it looks like Glow isn't also favoring us. So we would try as much as possible to go further a little bit and then end the session, so that we come back same time tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Yes. So as I was saying, I try as much as possible not to make frequencies fight each other in a mix. That's what I do. I try as much as possible not to make frequencies fight each other. So frequencies can be fighting another frequency, maybe not from even how you did an EQ. Sometimes check your EQs even on the reverbs that you use. Because I use the H bundle, I am chanced to do a lot, because you see the H bundle, I have double EQ session, even at the dampen side, and then at the filter side I have another EQ here. So you see, even on this, because it was for the drums, I try as much as possible to cut off the, how do you call it, the the high shelf. No, the high pass filter. I try to cut off the high pass. So at the dampen, I cut off a little bit of the highs, and then I increase the mid to the low. Okay, because it's for the drum. So it doesn't really shine too much. If you can listen. Where is it? Okay, no. Let me go to the drums, yeah. Sorry. I'm using something else, yeah. Oh. Okay. So this is the drum. Yeah, this is the drums, as I was saying. And that's my... So as I cut off, so it doesn't affect too much. You see? It's not too shiny like this. Let me try to take this off. You see? You see? You see? So I try as much as possible to take that off. So you see? Yeah? See the difference between that and that. The difference between that and this. You see? It's still dark at the end. So at the end of the day, you see? You see? It doesn't end shining. That sound. I try to cut that off. So that's why I cut this thing off. You see? And with H reverb, you guys have got a lot of space to do a lot of things. Originally, it comes like this, you see? And then you can advance it with that. You click on this collapse button over here. Expand. Then you expand. Then collapse. Collapse. So you can have a variety of choices of how you want your reverb to feel. This is my way. If you want the preset, I can send it to you. If you want the preset, this is my way of working on my reverb to approach my drums, or my kit drums, or my drums kit. Okay, that's what I do, and that's my approach. You can get my approach. You can take my approach. Let me show you. You can go back to the video, pause it, and then go back to the video, pause it, and then you take it one after the other. Or better still, you can ask for it, and then I'll send the preset to you. I'll create a preset and then send it to you. Okay. So that's what I do. I try as much as possible that I don't lose that distinct of my taste from anything I do. I make sure that anytime I do something, it becomes distinct. It becomes mine. Okay. So that yours will be different from mine. But if you want to use my way and then improve it a little bit to become yours too, it's fine with me. I will send the preset to you so you can have my way and then improve it and make it yours. Okay? That's nothing. Okay? That's nothing to me. Because I tell you, as I said, since the beginning of my inception of being a mixing engineer, I've been doing works, and anything I do today, I change it tomorrow. Anything I do today, I change it tomorrow. Anything I do today, I change it tomorrow. Okay, I keep on changing from different ways for different ways, different times. It depends on the song and it depends on the feel that comes. I mix out of feeling. What I feel is what I try to put in my mix. I don't mix because this is the rule. You got my point? I don't mix because this is the rule. I mix because this is how I feel. So if you don't like the way I mix, that's the way you feel. But if I mix, I mix because that's how I feel. And then I try to make it at the end of the day, my feeling to grow and then achieve the pleasant feel for the ears, for every ear, not just my ear, for every ear that comes across my song, okay, or comes across my productions. Yeah, that's what I do. So, in as much as I did a lot of things approaching my ways of mixing, I indulge you that I can give you the chance or the time for you to also try your hands and do something for us to watch. I believe each and every member of Facebook who is a mixing engineer has a chance, has a point of taste that he will be driving his mixing or recording towards. And I believe it wouldn't be bad to share them. Don't be too stingy. Charlie, mixing engineers in this country, we are too stingy. We don't even want to friend each other. I'm telling you. We don't want to friend each other because we think we might copy. You know, we don't want to friend each other. I'm telling you. Charlie. And the backbiting is too much, you know. But that's not why I'm here today. I will go back to music. We are talking about music. Please send in your comments and everything. Don't just watch. I will be so much happy and proud to answer some questions. Even if I fail, I did try my best to answer your question. Okay? So don't think I am not too good to answer your question. Let me fail and then find solutions to answer your questions another time again. Do you understand? Or find a way of answering your question once again some other time. I am in the learning process. I'm just trying to make sure that what I know now will become will become something of an advance to somebody or a new thing to somebody. That's what I'm doing. So please, don't you feel reluctant or don't you hesitate passing on some questions for music. It's only questions for music, not questions, my personal questions or your personal questions. It's questions for music. Anything about music, music arrangements and stuff, I can be of help to you. If possible, I would answer. Okay? I would answer how you create music structure from introduction or introduction to pre-chorus to chorus to verses to bridges and stuff. You can tell me or you can ask, and then I would try my best. If it's within my power that I can answer, I'll try my best to answer you. If I have no idea and I can find it later, I will tell you to hold on your peace and I'll come back to your question, okay? Some other time, if I'm possible. Don't you hesitate. We are all in the learning process. I am in the learning process. Maybe you are final. You are a final student, you are a graduate, and you think where you are, you don't need any lessons again. But for me, I need more lessons. I'm still learning. And so the little I have today, I want to pass it on to you out there. It might be you. It might be your friend. You can tell them to join. Please, when you come online, try as much as possible to invite your friends too, okay? Try as much as possible to invite your friends too. Is it working? Okay. So try as much as possible to invite your friends. Sidov, yeah? You know Sidov is around. He's always around. He's going to be around. Today is Sidov's music. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but tomorrow it might be your music. Be more as I promised. If you invite me over, give me a time, give me a day, and then I'll make sure we'll be with you same time next week. We'll be with you. I promise, yeah. We'll be with you. We'll be at the studios When you invite me to your studio, I'll make sure I'll be there as your host, and then you be my guest and tell music, okay, in your own way. We are not competing each other. I'm trying to grow the music friendship for all of us, all to learn from each other. I want to learn your way, be more. I want to learn your way, the Thompson, and I want you to learn my way too. Okay? Maybe you can pick just one thing. Maybe how I do my filtering. It can be something new for you, or how I add reverbs to drums and stuff. It might be new to you. It might be new to you. Don't you feel you don't need to add something else to what you do? No. Look, you can be comfortable where you are today, but tomorrow it ain't gonna be yours anymore because now music has grown, music has changed. You see? So please try as much as possible to open arms and give chance so I can pass through and then give your lessons to somebody out there, not just for me. Okay, please. I'm your friend today, yes, but there are so many out there who are trying to add up to what they know, and maybe your technique or your method will be a profit to somebody. Please. So join me same time tomorrow. I would be here live on Facebook. This is yours truly, Nana Winner, and we are on Let's Talk Music live on Facebook. I'm sorry for the interruptions when the network break down. Okay, I'm sorry. As something beyond my control. I cannot control the network, and I'm not the one to be blamed. Okay, please. I did my best to come live as I promised, and I am sorry if the network didn't favor the session. I am so sorry the network didn't favor the session, but please forgive me. I will still work on it. We'll still try to get other networks and then see if they will give us the possibility to do what we need to do as music listeners and music lovers, okay, and producers. Thank you all. You are welcome once again if you join me tomorrow. Thank you and stay blessed. Michicham, good night. Let's have a sleep tight and meet tomorrow. Bye bye.